Hello. Can you hear me if I stand here? Yeah? Okay, we'll go with that. Okay, so about 2 years ago, I went to a Museum Technologies Design Jam, and I thought, brilliant, fabulous, we're going to make some mad shit, we're going to fight, it's going to be great. And we were encouraged by experts not to be limited in our imaginations. Great. So my background is making theatre for people in different scenarios over years. And our task was to design an interactive book that would trigger experiences. And we were in this big, half-used office space. And people retrieved Post-its in 64 different colours and sizes. And I walked around and found books, old books, dirty manuals, carried them back to the group. And that's when I got the first look. It's okay, I'm used to the look. People laughed at me. They literally said, "Oh, she's had too much coffee." And these are people who told me not to be limited in my imagination. I was a nutcase for holding a book and saying, okay, where am I? What's in front of me? Who am I? This thing is bloody heavy. I can't walk with it. It was a jam. We had to get at the experience fast because, wow, shock horror, we experience the world through our body. We're not just brains on sticks. And as an actor, this was really obvious to me. But I was a weirdo for suggesting we start by moving with the books to design an experience for people moving with books. We're changing the way we work, we obsess about design studios and how they're built, and we stand sketching paint on walls, and that's all brilliant. But we still rely on the heads on sticks models of users way too much, with a few obvious exceptions. So what do we do when the screen disappears or shatters into 5 different devices on our bodies that we don't look at to interact with? We can't wireframe our way out of that one. And thankfully, we've moved past the wavy period with Kinect and the leap motions, which, although cool, still offer a really limited experience of vision of human experience. The head has arms, and we're just eerie conductors of an unseen orchestra. How do we design for the whole human being at once? Who do we know that can help us prototype experience through the body to help us design? Actors. They're living, breathing, professional pretenders. Their job is to create complex 3D personas. They've learned how the underlying psychological drivers of a person, their motivation, needs, and fears, make them behave. They will respond to any and all stimuli, allow themselves to be studied without much changes, and they've endless imaginations. And research has proven that they have way more empathy than the average human. It makes them good at what they do. They invest the most basic prototypes with realism, and if they don't have them, they just make them up. That's supposed to be help is at hand in an unconventional way. And actors don't get embarrassed. They're like Dr. Christian on embarrassing bodies. Nothing shocks them. And okay, this is not a new idea, and that's good because although instinct told me back then to ignore the look, now I know I'm not mad. Adaptive Path use improv and service design. Philips use actors for designing robots. And sorry, maybe you do too, and I don't know you. Let's talk. But what I've found a lot is you say the word improv to a designer at a desk and they panic. They think they're going to have to do it themselves, and it terrifies them. Do I have to take my shoes off? Will I have to dance in front of my boss? That's a totally reasonable reaction, but you don't need to. Just like we prototype with paper before hard coding, we can prototype experience with people before putting it into products. You can discover a lot about the living, breathing, connected, full-bodied user before you risk everything and find out in the testing stages that you've missed it by 10 miles. But you have to leap into the unknown for a bit. There's no handbook. You need to make stuff up and test it and trust it. You'll have to prototype prototyping. And people will give you the look. But it can work. And some things you can do immediately. Go to an improv class or watch one online. Not to see if you can act. Who cares if you can or not? You need to learn how to work with actors. See how the teachers interact with the students. Find actors. Ask them about the strategies they have and to communicate how they do what they do and why they do it to get into the minds and bodies of people they don't know. Ask for help. Make up new ways of prototyping that don't involve sketches just to push yourself. You'd be surprised what you come up with. You don't have to divorce the Sharpies and the Post-its because they're brilliant. Just have an affair and enjoy it. And if you're not ready for actors, then go play games that don't use screens and observe how people interact with technology using their bodies in space, and you'll learn loads. Try to understand more about the whole human being. And add these techniques to your already bursting toolbox, and it will pay off. Because the experience of being a human is complex and ever-changing and physical. And we need the tools to work with that. And then someone will give you the look, and you'll be okay with it, and you'll be ready for the next wave of physical computing.